Hello, welcome. We're talking about the Aquarius new moon, solar eclipse happening February 17th, 2026, 7 a.m. Eastern Time at 28 degrees 49 minutes Aquarius. My name is Holly. Thank you for joining me. Um, the Aquarius new moon is always the Chinese New Year. So, this year's energy with the Chinese New Year is moving from the year of the wood snake into the year of the fire horse. So you kind of had this overall energy in the last year where we were shedding our skin, we were shedding something away, and we can't go back. There's so much happening astrologically, but just we'll take the Chinese New Year, the last year's New Year, as an example. Once a snake gets to a point where they can't fit in their skin anymore, the skin has to break open and they kind of move out of the skin and they can't get back into the casing. It's the same thing with where we are with what we have been through this year. Um, Personally and collectively, there's no going back. The only choice is to really move forward. So now we have the fire horse, which is you know really passionate and quickly moving. Fire moves very quickly, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I don't know that much about Chinese astrology, so I'm just thinking of the symbolism of a snake and a horse. Right? So, horses, I would say a fire horse is a horse that likes to run, that likes to move. If I think of the element of fire um, in Western astrology and in the tarot cards, that's quick movement, that's instinct, that's creativity. So I'm betting that this is going to be a very creative year as well. A year that we recognize our desires and with this Aquarian energy, and there, I'm going to talk a little bit again about another thing that's happening later this week. Aquarius is air, and air and fire. They air will fan the flames, right? So the kind of looking at the overview and backing up. So we have this fire horse, and then the solar eclipse is going to be, it's not going to be a complete eclipse. It's an annular eclipse. So where the eclipse can be viewed, there'll be a ring of fire around the sun. So it won't go completely dark, but there will be like a disk and then fire around it. So it's like, welcome in that fire. And the symbolism of that darkness in the middle, what that pure potential is, right? That's also the new moon energy that I talk about every month. That darkness is pure potential. It's like you put a seed in the ground, you bury it in the ground, it's in the dark. pushes through the ground and it grows. What is in, what we cannot see could be anything, right? It could be anything, which is why we use our imaginations to visualize what it is we would like. Send it out into the darkness and invite the universe to dance with those ideas for manifestation, for creating a better world for all beings, and something bigger and better than we can imagine, right? It's like there is a certain amount of, I am putting my idea out there and I'm also letting it go. I'm letting it go because I trust that the idea or something better, if it's for the good of all, will occur, will manifest. Aquarius energy is fixed air. So the concept of having an abstract idea come to form is fixed air. The thing with Aquarius is that there's this understanding that the vision needs to be for the good of all. The understanding that a vision kind of is, right? Because we're all connected. They understand that the air we breathe, Aquarius understands that the air I breathe is the same air you breathe. We all breathe the same air. Whether we're dirt poor or we're billionaires, right? We all breathe the same air. Aquarius is ruled by both Saturn and Uranus. So Uranus is like innovation, disruption, right, of the status quo, is like the lightning strike that blasts everything apart. It's electricity. We know electricity exists. We can run it through wires. We can do all kinds of stuff with electricity, and at the same time, we kind of don't know what it is. We know what it is, but we don't know what it is. And Saturn is stabilizing. So there's this understanding that stability is dependent on progressive change. And the moon itself, like, this is why I like to look at the moon, because the moon changes every few days, right? So there's this constant change. And then we look at the larger cycles. There are the seasons. We're in the northern hemisphere right now. We are in the middle of winter. And we're about to move into Pisces, which is the mutable sign, which is we are moving from fixed to mutable because we are moving toward spring. So the power of thought as it takes form, right? the act of focusing on a vision that we can have an abstract idea, an abstract yearning, and if we focus on it, we can bring it to form. I love this Caroline Casey's book, Making the Gods Work for You. She says the Aquarian constellates community, because Aquarius is also groups and community, by broadcasting a vision of an inclusive society, inviting each of us to participate. She also says this about the moon in Aquarius. So during this time, this is something we may want to try drawing in some of this energy. Now, I talk about setting 10 intentions every month, you know, letting some be for yourself, maybe one or two for the world or a world you want to see, right? Or maybe all of them are for the world you want to see, right? And then this or something better for the highest good of all. So be it, so it is, right? Okay. Caroline says the moon in Aquarius says, I belong to a tradition that uses advanced telepathic techniques and technologies to constellate community. Aquarius is telepathy, right? The nervous system. We relate to everything as a friend. There is no one and nothing we cannot talk to, and no one and nothing we can't organize into a creative, cooperative endeavor. Aquarius likes to communicate. We build teams and community projects. We like diversity, knowing that when everyone is the same, there's no electricity. I mentioned electricity before. Contrast provides the spark. So, where are you experiencing contrast in your life? That is where the electricity is. And that is probably a clue to where your soul wants to be moving toward. As we start to move into the eclipses over the next couple of years, we're going to experience more Aquarius eclipses. And Aquarius is the North Node, this round of eclipse series. So it is where your soul is moving toward. Now, while we have all this energy of the new moon happening and the solar eclipse, so like I said, the solar eclipse is kind of like a new moon and a new sun at the same time. And then we have the Chinese New Year. This energy from the eclipse is going to ripple out for the next 6 months to a year. And also, this lunar cycle is going to ripple out for the next 27 months, right? And then this eclipse cycle is going to ripple out for another like 18 and a half years. So there's a lot of, it'll start like this, and then it gets bigger, and then it just keeps getting bigger, right? So maybe think about that when you're thinking about how you want to focus the energy. At the same time, Uranus and Taurus is going to be squaring the new moon. And Uranus rules Aquarius. It's one of the signs that rules Aquarius. One of the planets that rules Aquarius. Um, so there might be some disruption that you don't expect. If you want to if you want to use the energy of this square in your intentions, or your just like noticing time, right? In your visioning, bringing your thoughts into physical reality. See if you can consciously sit with the uncertainty. The new moon, there's always some uncertainty, right? This last year there's been a lot. That's like one of the main things that I've been feeling, and that so many people I talk to are experiencing, is I don't know what's happening, right? But people are starting to go, I don't know what's happening, so I'm just going to take the actions I want to take rather than waiting to see what happens. And so we have Uranus, which is this planet that I mentioned, that there's the lightning strike energy. We don't know where lightning is going to strike, but we can focus on things, and that's sort of like our psychic lightning rods, right? So lightning will be more apt to hit a lightning rod, right? It might hit you if you're just standing in the middle of the field during a storm, or on top of a mountain going, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. You don't really want to get struck by lightning, but if you can put out your psychic lightning rods, this is a pretty strong time to do that, right? So some of the questions, also Uranus disrupts the status quo, which kind of needs to happen right now. Um, some of the questions, some of the lightning rod questions, which also might help you create intentions, are, what do I want illuminated in myself and the world? Right? What do I want changed in myself and the world? Um, what fire do I want to come alive? You know, where am I feeling friction? Where am I feeling, where am I being kind of given the clue to where things need to change? And this is a time, I mean, it's always a time, but when you can be really honest, that's when real change can happen. And when you're able to be honest, the people around you are able to be, it's like this whole community thing, right? You can be honest about where you're at, how you're feeling about things, what you're thinking. Um, real change can happen. It's a time to experiment. That's a way to honor the Uranian energy, is to experiment. Um, life is not necessarily in the accomplishment, it's in the attempt. It's in the attempt. The accomplishment becomes another door for you to attempt something else, right? So what can you communicate? Aquarius, the energy around Aquarius is forums, is, groups, films, writing, electricity, the nervous system, like paying attention to how you feel. We are moving from an energy of, I think, being really kind of slow, feeling our skin being raw, and going, okay, wow, I'm changed. What do I do with the change? What do I do now that I am new? All right. I was going to talk about the Saturn Neptune conjunction moving into Mars, but I think that the Aquarius new moon happening on the 17th is sort of a nice oh, what's the word? Introduction to this bigger energy, or this big energy of Pisces and Saturn meeting at Aries. Did I say moving into Mars? Aries, Mars. Mars rules Aries. We're going from this Neptunian, Jupiterian energy into this Martian energy, into this like direct energy. Again, like I said, we sort of are in this place of, shedding the skin, something's changing, dissolving, right? And the energy is now coming together for us to move forward. So I think just letting ourselves focus on the new moon, and maybe I'll talk about I've been talking about the Saturn Neptune conjunction happening on the 20th. So it is like a nice prelude. You can set your intentions for on the 17th, or a little bit after the 17th, for the Aquarius energy, for the Uranian square that's maybe going to bring in a surprise. But really letting yourself formulate your vision for the month, and then for the 27 months, and then maybe even one of your intentions is for the next 18 and a half years, for when we come around to this eclipse, this eclipse series again with Aquarius in the North Node, 18, 19 years from now. So where do you want to be? Where do you want to be 18 years from now? Where do you want to be 3 years from now? Where do you want to be a month from now? And then if you can think about, well, we'll start there. The 20th, the Saturn Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries is sort of like a huge reset. So I would even take time at that point to do almost, to do like another intention with that. But let this be sort of the taster intentions, and then, you have a few days to see how you feel about it. And the cosmos is going to give you some feedback anyway. Um, as we, as a collective, really do go through some big change. I think the thing that I want to say about the big changes is that we are not completely helpless. There's a lot going on that feels way bigger than us. And there are a lot of things that are bigger than us, but our individual vision for ourselves and the collective can make a difference. Allow it to make a difference. We do have some, even if it's just a little ripple, it's a ripple. When you set an intention, when you take an action, it creates a vibration, and that vibration just ripples out and out and out and out and out. Vibrates the springs of the universe. I'm shuffling. I've been shuffling. I don't know if you can hear the cards moving around, but I'm going to pull a card in a minute if they don't jump out. Very exciting. I think this is a very exciting time. It's been a difficult time, but it's also like a time where we get to decide, what do we want? What kind of world do you want to live in? You know, what did I say? What do I want illuminated in myself and in the world? Right? What do I want changed in myself and in the world? What fire do I want to come alive? I have two cards. Oh my goodness. Queen of Wands. This is the ultimate power of manifestation. It's also Queen of Fire. The Queen of Wands is like ultimately creative. She embodies creativity. She embodies passion. She embodies in, uh, instinct. And her instinct is to love. So lean toward love. Know that you can manifest your creative desires, right? Queen of Wands is the most magnetic card in the minor arcana in the deck. This is like one of the best cards. So there's some really exciting stuff happening this week. This is the pull for the new moon in the week. And then the 10 of Cups. So this is like fulfillment, following that creative spark, following that lightning, letting that square, letting that nudge be the clue toward what you want. When you follow through, the queen does think about, well, she's emotional about her kingdom, right? Her people. She is like I said, the embodiment of creativity and passion and instinct. Embodying creativity, passion, and instinct leads to this emotional fulfillment and this continuation. You see, there's like a legacy that happens. So following your desire, thinking about the community, letting yourself experience community, letting your desires be for the good of all, not just, it's not a me desire, right? It's something bigger than that. It's like divine desire. It's like allowing this to be the lightning rod, this wand here, of creative fulfillment, of love. This is also exciting spark, sexual energy, following through on your vision brings this fulfillment, not only for yourself, but for generations to come. And that is, there's a legacy that happens. We all leave a legacy, whether we are aware of it or not. So this is saying, like, choose a joyful one, choose an inclusive legacy, right? The rainbow. Yeah. Choose joy, choose love. I'm always going to tell you that, but the cards are telling us that too. If all you can think is, you know, I want love, then let yourself be love. What if I was love? What if I was creativity? What if I was curious? What if I was able to express my ideas, feelings, desires? What if I attracted people who honored my ideas, feelings, desires, and I honored theirs? What if we helped one another? What if we helped one another make a better world? That is what this week is saying. So I hope that you have a great week. There's a lot going on, and we are on the precipice of it's like the new moon is the beginning, and then in a few days we have an even bigger beginning. Um, but it's also like we have lives to live. How can we let love, creativity, and curiosity flow through our lives on a daily basis and inform the bigger picture of all our realities? Okay, stop there. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you'd like to get a reading with me, you can go to holly-troy.com/tarot and book a reading with me. Or if you're in the Hudson Valley, you can book a reading with me through medicamagica.com. I can do in-person readings through Medica Magica. And, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this new moon, what's happening for you, and maybe what some of your vision is. Okay. Have a great week. Happy new moon. Happy new year. Happy solar eclipse. See you next time.